getting his attention here. He's starting to nibble at my hand a little bit. I've got one kibble, and we're going to click at the same time that he gets that piece of food. Good boy. Hi, Ethan here with Standing Stone Kennels, and we are super excited to announce we have picked a name for this little guy. His name is Sprig. So Sprig from Riverstone Kennels is going to be ready to start training. Now we have to say thank you for everybody who participated in the contest. We had an overwhelming number of people comment. It was insane. And due to that, I believe that we've got the opportunity to well surpass our goals with this series. It's the feedback from you guys that's going to make this whole process awesome. So keep that up with sharing and commenting and letting us know kind of some of the things that you also want to see throughout the series. So today we're going to actually get started with his first training session, and that is charging the clicker. Now, if you watch any of our other series, you would know we always start with positive reinforcement and we use clickers in training. Now, the important part about a clicker is it is the same noise every time. So I've got my clicker here. That noise is what we're going to teach him means that he did something right. Now, the reason that we use a clicker versus our voice is because it is the same every single time. It holds no baggage, depending on how your day was, or different inflection, depending on if you're happy or maybe not as into the training session as you should be, but it's the same every time for him. That's going to make it easy to communicate to Sprig throughout his training that what he did at that moment was right. But he has not been born with the inherent ability to understand what the clicker it means. He's kind of looking at it because it's right next to his head, but he doesn't know that that means anything as good is coming or that he did anything right. So we have to start with charging the clicker. Now, what we do in this process is just feed him. We've kind of held his morning meal here, and we're going to utilize his desire to want to eat to build a positive association with this noise. And we're going to get started here. We've got some dog kibble. Hey. Now, he's also going to have to learn his name because we haven't started using that yet. And you'll see how we do that throughout this process. But getting his attention here, he's starting to nibble at my hand a little bit. I've got one kibble, and we're going to click at the same time that he gets that piece of food. Good boy. Good boy. We're not asking for him to sit. We're not asking for any other behaviors. Now, I'm going to try and not reward him for naughty things. If he starts jumping on me, we'll just kind of ignore that and then move on with this process. Good boy. Making sure that every time he gets a kibble, we're clicking. Now, he saw me drop that one on the floor, so he's going to look for it for a second. But hey. We're going to show him we got another one right here. Good boy. Good boy. Now, this process, depending on the dog, should take anywhere from 1 to about 3 sessions. Most people have heard the short sessions are going to be better for training your young puppy. And using or utilizing their meal time as a training session is a great way to schedule it out in your busy schedules and make sure that it happens every day for your puppy. Come on. He's licking a lot, but he hasn't actually grabbed the kibble. Good boy. We've got a lot of focus, which is why these feeding sessions are very helpful. Let's grab a few more here. Good. Good boy. Hey. Sprig. Good. Just feeding him. Again, we're not asking for anything. We're not using any cues. Starting to incorporate his name in the process. Good. Good boy. It is this simple. You're just clicking at the same time he's eating to build a positive association. Now, how do we know that he is done with this is the next thing that's important here. we're going to do is test it here in a little bit. We've done about, I would guess, somewhere in the vicinity of 20 to 30 reps. Good. Now we're going to allow him to get just a little bit distracted. And I may have to stay standing for this, but if he's not immediately paying attention to this, again, we're not going to reward this, but at the same time, not overly discourage it because he's a puppy and he's excited about eating. Yeah, so I'm going to stand up. What I'm looking for is for him to not be paying attention to me, and we're going to see if we can pull his attention back to us with the sound of the clicker. So I clicked there, did not pay attention. He's still looking around and playing, which would mean that he hasn't built a strong positive association with the noise. Good. Good. So we're going to start to change this timing just a little bit, making sure that the click happens right before the food, and it's just a split second, but click and then the food. Good boy. Now the reason for that is dogs are really good at anticipating things and expecting what's going to be coming next. So he hears that noise and then knows the food's coming. That's going to help us to build that association that we're looking for, as well as when he's distracted, if he hears that click, he'll be looking for the kibble. And that's going to help us to be able to move through training him in all of his basic obedience, as well as beginner retrieving work. Good. Hey, 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 hey. Good. Good. So we're going to try it again. We're going to test this one more time. He's definitely focused on us right now. You can see he sat down there. That'll be how we're going to start to incorporate sitting later. But we want to make sure that he has a full understanding of what's going on here. This is a very important part of getting started. All right, are you guys ready? Still not quite there. Now he came back over here, but I'm looking for, it'll be very distinct. Hopefully we can get it caught on camera. He will immediately turn back to that noise. Good. Now I want to point out something while we continue to charge this for him, that these twice a day training sessions are not the only thing that he's getting. We're going to show throughout this series everything new that we're teaching him, but at the same time, it won't be his only training sessions. We are going to work with him repping things that we've already demoed on camera, and we're going to build a bold and confident puppy and a well-socialized puppy by exposing him to all of the things that he's going to need to be able to do when he's an adult. It's important to be doing those things now, and exposure is all that it is. You have to be able to introduce him to the tall grass. You have to be able to introduce him to riding in cars and going to meet new people. And we're going to be showing a lot of those things on our story. So if you follow along on Instagram or Facebook story posts, you'll get to see some of the exposure. Like this last weekend, he got to go on a short fishing trip with me, and just camping type environment, got to meet people and kids and smell fish, and all of those things are just helping him to be a well-rounded, good citizen as he develops. Good, so we're gonna do a few more reps and we're gonna try it again. I think we're getting closer. Let me see, I put a little bit more time here. Good. Good. He's definitely got it figured out where the food's coming from. Good boy. Good boy. Let's see. One more time. We want to check this. And then we only got a little bit more food from his meal. And if he doesn't get it in this first session, that's not a huge deal. We'll do 1 or 2 more sessions. We'll do it with his evening meal and then his next morning meal, and he should have it in that amount of time. But I think we are very close. So we'll allow him to focus. Good. Now, could you see that exactly? Kind of caught on the edge. So he started to go behind me, and I clicked, and he immediately turned around and looked for food. And so I think we're about there. We're going to try and do it one more time so you guys can see better. He said, I couldn't find you while you were standing up. We'll try it this way, one more time. Lots of focus out of a little guy. Sniffing. So it may have been a fluke what I saw earlier. So I think what we're going to end up doing here, we've got just a few more reps to finish out this meal, and then we'll go ahead and do this again with his evening meal. All we're doing is building this positive association with that noise. This will teach him that the clicker is a good thing, and then we're going to be able to use it to mark behaviors as we continue the process. Good. Just a few more reps. Good job. Good boy. Good crunch. Good. Good. All right. We're going to call that a wrap with his session today. Now, it's important that with this 8-week-old puppy, I think I forgot to mention that at the beginning, and everybody is always curious so that it can follow along with their puppy's age as well. But it's important to keep sessions short. We utilize food a lot of times in those sessions because it's a very good way to keep your puppies focused and develop those basic obedience behaviors that are going to help us to shape this little guy into the adult dog that we're all going to be able to enjoy for years to come. Guys, don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions, and make sure to follow us, like our page on Facebook, and then subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you don't miss any of his upcoming videos in this series, as well as all of the great giveaways that we'll be able to throw at you throughout this process. Thanks, guys.